Hi there, everyone. So I wanted to kind of make a video here as my first official YouTube video with my new iPhone 7 Plus. Great phone, by the way. If you don't have an iPhone, you should definitely try it out. I've been an Android user for several years, and I'm just now owning my very first iPhone. I'm loving it so far. But anyways, just kind of wanted to make my first YouTube video with the iPhone, and I figured I would focus this video on a particular interesting subject, focusing around recent seismicity at the Yellowstone National Park, and is there any reason to be worried about it? Now, you've probably heard Yellowstone appears in the media from time to time, actually quite often, because it's a very sensitive subject. You know, it's one of the largest volcanic systems in the world, and you've known it in the media as the potential to cause serious disruption on planet Earth if it were to ever explode one day. So recently, actually over a month now, we've had an earthquake swarm at Yellowstone. It began on June 12th. Today is July 17th, by the way, so it's been ongoing for over a month, with varying degrees of activity. Recently, over the past 24 hours or so, we've actually seen an uptick in activity. It was actually showing signs of slowing down, but it's kind of picked back up in pace. I'm going to show you the Maple Creek seismometer. That's the one I typically look at most often for this particular swarm. Actually, you know what? I'll just show you the map first. So you can see we still got several earthquakes on the map. The earthquakes, as of right now, are being plotted at this time. Looks like they're working on them. So let's see here. So we got so this earthquake swarm has been focused in this general area over the past month. It's an area where seismic activity is common. Earthquake swarms have happened many a times in the past. So it's off to the northwest of the Caldera. The Caldera is roughly in this area, and so it's happening to the northwest of the Caldera, on the northwest side of the park. Norris is somewhere over here, so it's to the west of Norris and to the northeast of West Yellowstone. That's where this quake activity has been focused. In this area, there's some fault lines, that have been known to cause big earthquakes in the past. One particular earthquake was that Hepkin Lake earthquake in 1959 that created that Quake Lake, which I believe, I forget where that's at actually. Where's Quake Lake? Here's Henry's Lake. Anyways, I'm not going to find it. So it's in an area where seismic activity is very common. So really, is there any reason to be worried? And I'll kind of answer that question. I'm no expert geologist or anything like that, but I'm just refreshing this map. They are putting new quakes on the map. So we got a couple that's happened over the past couple of hours here. But let's take a look at the actual seismometer. So you can see where the activity is pretty elevated. Almost 24 hours ago, we had a sudden increase in activity. It was pretty quiet, and then we had a couple of mid-level, I guess you could say mid-level earthquakes. They're still pretty light in geologic terms. Up here is where the quake activity started. This here is a 3.4 that they reported. That's currently the strongest one that's on the map. And then we had a 3.0, which was, let me show it to you on the map here. We had a 3.0. I think it was downgraded to 2.9. Yeah, it's downgraded to a 2.9. So there was that one, and then there was the 3.4, and then there was a 2.8. So in geologic terms, those are pretty minor. For the Yellowstone area, those are a bit on the stronger side, well, especially the 3.4. So we had those quakes. They happened in a relatively short period of time, and then following that we had a big flurry of very small earthquakes that have not yet been analyzed. So we had a couple of additional, these look like magnitude 2 kind of earthquakes. And we had another earthquake here that happened about 8 hours ago or so. Looks like just before 3 a.m. Mountain Time, we had a pretty strong earthquake that, if you compare it to that 3.4, it looks to be just as strong, if not potentially a little stronger. So that happened around 3 a.m. I'm not sure how they did not get through their automated system, because I know that some of these earthquakes do get automatically located, whereas these smaller earthquakes, they take some time to get through the system because they have to manually enter them in, manually report them. But I know that some of these stronger earthquakes can be detected automatically and plotted on the maps. This one, for some reason, has not made it through the system, and I'm actually kind of surprised because it's pretty strong. It's at least a magnitude 3. But yeah, you can see numerous quakes have been recorded since then. So yeah, lots of earthquakes have been happening in this area. Now, is there really any reason to be worried? Honestly, I would say no. Scientists, you're going to hear a lot in the media. There's many YouTube videos that are posted on this. Anytime Yellowstone does something that's a little elevated, they got elevated seismicity, people kind of freak out, and people claim to, know what they're talking, they make these connections to the Yellowstone area. They say, oh, this is happening because of this, because magma is rising through the system, where really there's not. There's no magma rising through the system. There's no, well, of course, there's magma that is moving the system because it is active. However, there's no reason to believe that magma is approaching the surface and is on the brink of eruption. You'll probably see that in the media anytime something like this happens. Yes, there are earthquake swarms at Yellowstone. Yes, there's ground deformation. But with this earthquake swarm, which has been ongoing for over a month, which is a little bit less common than what we see, it does not necessarily indicate that an eruption is imminent. We haven't seen any huge ground deformation pattern. The ground deformation actually hasn't changed a whole lot. The caldera itself has been subsiding, whereas we've had a little bit of uplift around Norris. There hasn't really been a whole lot of a change that so far in the ground deformation. So if there was really an eruption brewing, you'd be seeing a lot of deformation. You'd be seeing ground temperatures rising. You'd be seeing a lot of gas escaping, a lot more than there already is. Really, I think, and because this is in a tectonically active region, the most likely case for these earthquakes, although it could be due to rising magma, it is very well possible. I'm not discounting that. But scientists have gathered no evidence that these are volcanic quakes. It's most likely that the fault lines in this area are slipping. Sometimes they can be lubricated by magmatic gases and cause these fault lines to start slipping, causing these earthquake swarms in the northwest part of the park. Maybe it'd be a little bit more concerning if these quakes start to migrate towards the Yellowstone Caldera. But however, they're not. They're still several miles to the northwest in a region where there probably is magma up in this region. However, it is outside the boundaries of the caldera. So I really wouldn't be too worried. You'll see stuff on the media, and they will blow this out of proportion, but really, this is normal processes at Yellowstone. This happens from time to time, and there's honestly no reason at this time to be worried. So, thank you for watching this video. We will see you later.